So Rosie, this is a video showing you how to do your statistical analysis of your data. So this is the Excel sheet that you'll send it to Richard. So we just simply copy all the numbers, and then paste them into SPSS. So here is the SPSS, and we also rename the variables and everything with its corresponding levels. So from the data, there's one thing we need to make a change is the length of residency. We're just going to transform the variables into 3 levels, and we just do it quickly for you because since we originally, when you send out the Excel sheet, we don't know the approximate range of the length of the residency of your participants. So we just quickly do the range. So we just make the range as 1 equals to the people who live in the United States less than 10 years. And then number 2 represent the people who live in the United States between 10 years and 20 years. And then number 3 represents the people who live in the United States more than 20 years. So this is the only variable we'll make a minor change on it. So that's how you're going to use these kind of variables to analyze the data later. Okay, so we're ready to go. And remember, we're going to use chi-square test to do all the analysis. So you want to see if nationality, age, length of residency, English level, and education level going to determine whether they're going to pass or fail the English proficiency test. And you have total, let's quickly take a look, 53 people. Okay? Okay, so let's do the analysis now. So you go Analyze, Descriptive Statistics, and Cross Tabs. That's where you do the chi-square test. So the rows here, usually we put whatever factors you want to use to determine the pass or fail. So the rows, we're going to put nationality. One thing is that you can only do each of these. You can only do each of them by one time. So let's do nationality first, and then you can do the followings. We can do the followings later. So the columns will be pass or fail. And the statistics here is we're going to need chi-square. So hit continue. And for cells, we want to see expected. So you're going to see whether you do have a difference between Chinese and Spanish on passing or failed exam. And you can hit OK. And here's the first results.
Hey, Rosie, this is Rich. Okay, so to interpret this scale is if the null hypothesis were true, in other words, if there was no significant difference between the pass and fail rates between the Chinese and the Spanish students, then the expected counts should be accurate. Okay? Again, if the null were true and there was no significant difference, then you should have got about 11.3 that failed it and 14.7 that passed it for the Chinese students, and then for the Spanish students, it's pretty much the same, 11.7, 15.3. But your actual count, that's your count part. So for Chinese, you had 8 fail, 18 pass, and for your Spanish, you had 15 fail, 12 pass. So it's your real count, your observed count is different than your expected count. So now we're going to go down and look at the chi-squared test statistic down in this bottom square where it says Pearson chi-square, and the value of the chi-square is 3.3, and there's a significance 0.069. Unfortunately, that shows us that there was not a significant difference between the pass and fail rates between your Chinese students and your Spanish students. If this significance value was less than 0.05, then yes, you would have had a significant difference. But the data is not saying that. So you do not have a significant difference here. Okay, so what we did with the nationality versus the pass or fail rate, what we just did, we're going to repeat the process with everything, with age, length of residency, English level, educational level. That's going to be one IV, and we're going to compare them all to the pass or fail rate. So we're going to run about 4 more chi-square tests right now, so please hold. Okay, we went ahead and loaded up all the other 4 IVs to run. We're going to run 4 different chi-square tests all at the same time. So here we go. All right, this top box shows you every chi-squared test. So this first one is age and pass and fail. The second one is residency, pass and fail, English level, pass and fail, education level, pass or fail. So now let's go ahead and look at the results. Okay, we're not going to look at the expected counts anymore. We're just going to go straight down to the chi-squared test statistic. And unfortunately, it wasn't very big. So there's no significant difference between the age groups and the pass and fail. Moving on to residency. Again, there's your expected counts. But let's just go down to the chi-squared test. And again, there is no significant difference because that number is greater than 0.05. There is no significant difference between the length of residency and the pass and fail. Moving on to the English level. There's your chi-squared test. And yes, there is a significant difference between the pass and fail rates when it comes to the different levels of English proficiency. So yeah, you do have a significant difference there. I'll say that again. There's a significant difference between the different language levels and the pass and fail rates. Okay, so you got a positive there. Now we're going to the educational level. And again, you do have a significant difference. Please hold. What are you doing? Okay. So there is a significant difference, right? Because the significance is less than 0.05. That tells us that there is a significant difference between the different education levels and the pass-fail rates. Stop. All right, here's a quick recap on all your chi-squared tests. So first chi-squared test, nationality versus pass or fail, no significant difference between the groups. The next one, between the age groups and pass and fail, no significant difference between the groups. Next one, length of residency versus pass or fail, no significant difference between the groups. And that was English level versus pass or fail. There was a significant difference between the English level groups and the pass and fail rates. And there was a significant difference between the different educational levels and the pass or fail rates. And that's it. And I hope it helps. And we'll see you soon. I hope you're feeling better. This is Rich and Bong Bong out.